Alright, now that the stuffing's cooling before I can put it all together, I'll show you what it looks like after we get it. I need to trim these Brussels sprouts. These were given to me from a friend's garden. Already been washed down. I just gotta kind of take the ends off, get them nice and clean, and then we'll make gator eggs. You can see I got bacon out on the block. Essie's hooking me up with a bowl, and what we're going to do to that bowl after she dries it, I'm going to throw a little olive oil in it. We have a place right here in Oregon, in the city of Glide. It's an olive, I guess you'd call them an orchard or such, and they press fresh virgin olive oil, and they press some during the fires we had last year, and the olive oil came out a little slightly smoky, which was kind of interesting. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll these guys in a little bit of olive oil as the bell tolls, and then I'm going to put a sprinkle of Baja Spicy on them, and we're going to wrap them in bacon, and then I'm going to skewer them, and we're going to call them Gator Eggs. Can't go wrong with bacon. Supposedly it's National Bacon Day, so definitely do something with bacon. And even though gator eggs look white, it's the thought that counts. So I don't feel like doing, everybody calls them a different name. We call them mice in California. In Texas, they call them Texas Twinkies. In Florida, they call them alligator eggs, which is stuffed jalapenos. We'll do some of those, the ones I call mice, and they're not dipped and fried. They're actually smoked or grilled or baked. Depends on what time of year you got and how hot it is and how hot the house is and what you want to do. We'll probably throw them on the smoker and let that bacon cure on the outside of that jalapeno until it gets cooked, and then since the jalapenos are seeded and veined, you'll get that great jalapeno flavor with the salty smokiness of the bacon, and then you get a nice cream cheese filling. They're fantastic. Once you start eating them, you can't stop. So let me get the splash of olive oil on here. I'll reach way back to my cupboard. And it's River Ranch olive oil. They press all their own. It's all cold pressed. What we're going to do is just a little bit of olive oil on them. Put that on my top shelf. We're going to roll them in the bowl. And since I'm going with Creole today, we're going to go Baja Spicy. Now, Baja Spicy, back 20 some odd years ago, the seasoning has changed names, but not the flavor. It was known as Jezebel. So sometimes I'll refer to it as Jezebel, sometimes I'll refer to it as Baja Spicy. It's the same stuff. It's made by Scott's Food Products. It was made by, originally, the owner's name was Tony LeBeau, and I'd known him for years and years and years. And he has a fantastic product line. Let's see how nice this will skewer. Never tried skewering Brussels sprouts, so bear with me. This is just something that came to mind and I thought I'd try it. Not sure if it's going to work, and I bought some not what we would call high-end bacon, because I'm basically going to wrap it and smoke it. So this will be kind of like bacon weaving. We'll see how this does. Might have to do a little bacon wrap like string. Not like my string video now. And we'll weave it this way. Maybe this is like cats playing with yarn. See if we can get it to stay on there. Be careful if you're skewing this, because the fresh Brussels sprout is a little tough to get through. So once you kind of punch through, be sure you have an opening in your fingers for that skewer to go through. You don't want to be skewered. Whoever laid this bacon, when they cut it, they need to get a new job. Some really rough bacon trimming. But the fat from this should cook the Brussels sprout really nice. And the smoker will candy up what meat's on there. Kind of like back in the day when you used to have to do scallops, bacon wrapped scallops. They don't always wrap real nice. They look pretty when they're done, but they don't always wrap up on the thing real nice. So we'll see how these come out on the grill. The rest of the bacon, whatever I have for pieces or scraps, I'll just mix them with a can of baked beans. Probably take a bit of time. Get everything to stay together. No laughing. Just because I'm laughing because it's not quite going as easily as I would have expected. But hopefully it works out. Now there's one. It looks like I got enough to do 3 skewers. So let's see how we go. All these nice seasoned leaves. I'll put them on a smaller one. Or I might just make one. Yeah, I'll make one in the end. So I thought it'd be neat. Green gators. They're round, look like eggs. Everybody loves bacon, so we'll call them Gator Eggs. And we'll see how they come out. Not Gatorade, Gator Eggs. Well, I could use a Gatorade. Okay. So remember, if we're going to do these, take your Brussels sprouts, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of spice, and then start wrapping them in bacon. Try and get them covered pretty good. A little bit of shoddy bacon, that's for sure. Next time I should choose a little bit better bacon. It's a bad spot. worked out much better. Trying to think of easy side dishes that are kind of healthy other than fried food that someone might enjoy, and I know bacon and Brussels sprouts go together quite nicely, so I thought this would be a interesting one to try. They're probably going to take a while on the grill. Brussels sprouts are fresh, they haven't been blanched or anything, so I'm probably say 45 minutes to an hour at least, probably 275. Once I get up to temp, they'll start rolling and we'll see what happens. I got a couple new vendors that are going to be sending me some product I've used for years and years and years that you guys will probably like. We'll see. I haven't been able to get a hold of them. Yep, one more skewer. I got 4 pieces and whatever's left. Whatever's left means whatever's left in bacon, I'm going to wrap it and make a extra Brussels sprout on the end. And it'll just be all the tender leaves. It'll be the first thing cooked, which will be all good and fine. Now, when we were doing that stuffing just a little bit ago, tell you how it did come out, and I'll show you when I get ready to stuff the chicken. We used 1 box of Zatarans. I used 8 ounces of carrots, 8 ounces of celery, and a half an onion. The box says use 3 cups of water, so we used 3 cups of water, but I added 1 cup of Mahatma rice to it because all my vegetables are going to kick out a lot of water once they get cooked and loosened up. And I wanted the rice at roughly 3/4 of the way cooked. I want it to finish inside the bird. So I used 1 can of beans in its own juice, and then just let the rice cooker cook that down. And it cooked it down 3/4. It's a little wet, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it being wet. It's going to go in the chicken, but I still have to cool it before I can mix it all together and put it in that bird. So it's mixing together as we speak. I have it cooling. It's in the fridge. When it gets cool enough to handle, I'll stuff a couple pieces of broccoli into the arms and in the legs to give it some stability. And then what I'll do is put the stuffing in. And once I get the correct shape, then we'll do a tying video, because I am going to have to tie it to make it all work the way I want it to. And since I got this extra bacon, let's just use all the bacon to keep the leaves together. Be like super bacon. Stuff it in there. Leaf trying to escape. Get it to where it's got a cradle on the bottom. Okay. And there's the gator eggs. So we'll see how that ends up. And probably start stuffing that bird and go tying in about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll come back to you on video.